I'm Scoot, and welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. This is my set in my brand new apartment. I am far from settled. In fact, right now it looks like it's all settled here because I've got this little area settled, but I don't want to show you the rest of it because there's like shit in boxes over here and there's stuff over here. And, I moved. I mean, you all know this. I moved the Friday as the storm's approaching. So all of my stuff got dumped off in my new apartment. And I had to pack up immediately and move to the radio station in downtown New Orleans. Hey, I hope you become a subscriber here. It's free, and we're just building this. And you're in on the ground floor. One day this might be big. This is an extension of my radio show on WWL, which is an Odyssey station. And if you subscribe, it's free. We give you a notice every time we do something. I'm still amazed. Look, I've been talking a lot about the storm here, and I missed the last couple of nights because I did a double shift yesterday. And look, I mean, there's just been so much bullshit to deal with this storm, and I've just been emotionally drained. And then finally, just the other night, I spent my first night here. So it's kind of frustrating. But look, I'm settled. I moved from downtown New Orleans because I didn't feel safe there anymore. I'm being honest with you. I love living downtown. And I lived there and it deteriorated. So I moved because of my no longer feeling safe. And so I did a video on that's on the YouTube channel as well. You can go back and see some of the videos, and I'm telling you, I'm amazed. One of the recent ones that I did that is still trending is titled Brandy Love, Conservative Porn Star. Yeah, this woman, Brandy Love, she's a conservative politically. And she shows up at this political convention for Republicans in Tampa. And she gets kicked out because somebody recognizes her as a porn star. I'm thinking, okay, so you Republicans recognize her as a porn star? Then you must be watching porn. Anyway, it's a fun video, but you'll find that on the YouTube channel as well. So, look, things are getting better. I went yesterday to get gas, and it looked like the gas station was closed. Well, the convenience store part of the gas station was closed, but the pumps were operating. There was me and two other people there. That's it. Man, I just pulled right in, got gas, and took off. The biggest frustrating thing for me now in the New Orleans area is that grocery stores don't stay open very late. And my radio show is until 4 o'clock, and I don't have time to get to a grocery store before they close because they've been closing at like 5 o'clock. And so I'll eventually find one. But it's been fun. So I've been living on tuna fish, packaged pouch tuna in a pouch, and celery. The last 2 nights, that's my dinner. But in all of the frustration that I've gone through moving, in the frustration of not being able to get to the store, not having groceries, all of those things that are frustrating to me, it's nothing compared to what some people are dealing with. So I feel really, really grateful. And I guess, you have to think about it. I've talked to some people on the radio show about this. Why is it that people don't move? Why don't they say, we've had enough of this shit, we're going to get the hell out of here? Why do people who have their homes totally destroyed, why do they rebuild in the path of a hurricane? Because this whole area, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mississippi, this hurricane target. As you know, they don't always hit, but if you rebuild, you're rebuilding in an area that could be hit by a hurricane. So why do people do this? I'm from New Orleans, and I grew up here. I spent much of my career here. I've also lived in cities around the country: Seattle, Portland, Philadelphia, Miami, Denver, San Antonio, San Diego. I think that's all. There could be a few others in there, but I think that's all. So I'm back in New Orleans. I'm home. And I'm thrilled to be here. And there is something about this culture. There's something about the people in New Orleans There's something about the human spirit here. There's something special about the culture. And it has occurred to me that generations and generations going through the same thing, going through hurricanes, rebuilding, staying, stuff gets destroyed again, and you rebuild again. This is part of our culture. I know you might think we're like totally stupid, but it shows the love that people have for living in this part of the country. And, there are no majestic mountains here. There are no snow-capped mountains. I mean, I lived in outside of Seattle, and out of my house, I could see a snow-capped mountain. So, there are really beautiful places to live, but there's something beautiful about this place as well. The swamp, the cypress trees, the moss dripping from the trees. And there's something special about the hospitality. Southern hospitality is not a myth. It's real. And it just has occurred to me, this Hurricane Ida, has taught me this, that there is a test of the human spirit that has contributed to who we are. And it has created this culture. And in a lot of other cities, people don't have to come together and help each other consistently like we do in New Orleans and in Louisiana, Mississippi. This is a really unique human experience. And so, that's the best way I can describe it. The human spirit is tested. And you really realize at a time like this, in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, you really come to realize how much you depend on other people. And by the way, I want to thank journalist Holly Bailey, who was in New Orleans covering the storm. She's with the Washington Post. And she wrote a really nice article about our coverage and just the unique relationship that radio has with listeners and with the community at a time of a disaster. So, you can check that out. I posted that on my Facebook page, which is also Scoot on the Air, and Instagram is also Scoot on the Air. But I thank all of you being with me. We're going to build this. We're building it now. And, one day we'll do graphics and, but I love the rawness of this right now. It's just, me and you, and we're, talking and enjoying this. And by the way, you can comment, and I'll comment on some of your comments. But there is, when you come to New Orleans, if you visit here, you sense something special about the culture. Well, part of that is explained by the collective resolve of this area when it comes to, what? You knock us down, we're getting right back up. And there are people who continue to rebuild. There are a few who will say, I've had enough, I'm out of here. But I'm not talking about mostly the people on the bayou and down in Cajun country and even people in New Orleans. Stuff gets destroyed, their shit gets destroyed. They'll rebuild it. And it's hard. I have power, I have cable, I have internet. I am so blessed. But there are people right now, I think we're 11, 12 days after the storm. There are people that still don't have power or cable. There are people who are not going to have power for 4 to 6 weeks. Now, we've got a cold front that has come through here, so it's going to be kind of pleasant this weekend, but it's hot as shit down here. And the humidity sucks. So, it's really, this is hard living. And why do people stay? Because they feel like, I think people stay because they actually feel like they belong here. It's bigger than just picking a city to live in. But I really honestly believe that there are people who feel like they belong here. And so even though stuff gets destroyed, they'll rebuild because this is where they belong. I hope you'll join me on my radio show on WWL 870 AM, 105.3 FM. That is in New Orleans and throughout the Gulf South. You can also pick up the show by going to our website, www.com, stream the show live, or download the app Odyssey, AUDACY. Download the app Odyssey, AUDACY. Type in WWL, and you've got my show and our station wherever you have your phone. And I'm on the air 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 in the afternoon. And that's Central Time. So I hope you'll join me. And again, if you haven't become a subscriber, we hope you become one of us.